connect the dots to create the curved space just by using straight lines. What is called the eye of God in the context of the golden rectangle, which is approximately right here. Get it so stable, so it would stand on its legs. So these sides would be parallel to the surface, whether it's on the wall or the floor. So I didn't really care about the precision. But after it was finished, you know, I didn't think of it as a failure, but certainly it was lacking in the precision with this point right here. Concept, the eye of God, which is the point of infinity. You never get there because it keeps going and going and going, just like any infinite sequence. It keeps going and going and going, it never stops. It really depends upon the starting place for where success is. And I would have never realized that had I've been successful with that. So I guess the failure kind of made me realize, you know, some fundamental things. You know, success is dependent upon where you start from. You know, merely shapes that are bounded by masking tape, so I could rip the masking tape off and get my straight line, to something that's very gestural, without a whole lot of intention behind why I was doing what I was doing, other than, you know, playing with the goop factor, which was a lot of fun. And this is what came out of it. Geometry on the sides is all, it's still there. You can see that there wasn't a figure beneath this, which can add some meaning to it. I didn't have any meaning. Abstract forms. I originally concentrated on just the individual image. Oh, that's kind of interesting, it's abstract. And I'd get a whole pile of them. And this was from the City of Rocks. From when I took a group of students out there. You know, I just shot and shot and shot with really no intention. And finally I decided to practice what I was preaching, to kind of let instinct take over and put intention on the back burner. You know, normally scattering them all over the floor, just, oh, that's interesting, so I can get a bird's eye view of them. Like the arm that comes down, the torso, the neck, the head. Yeah, and then eventually I went on to experiment with larger pieces of paper. Instead of the 8x10 paper, I moved on to the 16x20. Jasper, 3-year-old son, and I, we decided to goop it up and paint it. It worked well. And again, taking a coffee table and throwing it up on the wall. George Reed took these photographs at the Silver City Food Co-op. And I placed them into, I believe it's the Frank Gehry's photograph. I don't know who took the photograph. It was in an architectural book. But it was Frank Gehry's piece that he had done in Los Angeles, the activities of the Silver City Food Co-op, and to superimpose them onto something which is extremely modern or contemporary. This is half pinhole neutral, half positive image. I was putting the two together. They're of the same subject. And using the idea of positive and negative to evoke a sense of balance. Not necessarily visual balance based upon one is predominantly black, the other is predominantly white. You know, we have this line that kind of bisects the frame. I wasn't trying to work with that idea of balance, although I kind of overtly have. But it was more of an ideological balance that both the positive and the negative are part of the same subject, and the subject defining its boundaries by the frame, where nothing is exclusively positive and nothing is exclusively negative. There's always this combination. From the geometry, and the curves were inspired by Matisse. So I made this transition from Mondrian to Matisse. It would have to be done by using a compass, you know, a curve of precision. Undo the geometry of the infinity box, where it's made up of precise lines, you know, in these angles, which I don't think necessarily are human in their form. You know, bodies are made up of curves and imperfect places where joints meet. You know, when we bend our finger, we're not talking about three separate lines that are sharp. You know, there's always some type of curve as defined by straight lines, very clean angles. And so I splattered paint, took pictures of paint tubes, and ultimately I don't think I was able to escape the geometry. Yeah, an angle, a perfect intersection between two lines, two planes. Those are always going to exist. Those are salient characteristics of any space. You know, that can't be objectively defined, and everybody has their own emotional space that's created as a reaction from an image or a sculpture, painting, what have you, that nobody's going to dispute that they are not there. You know, this side is predominantly darker than this side. Perhaps these tubes here pop out more because this side is darker. There seems to be a straight line going on here. Those are kind of the objective qualities that I'm talking about.